Hey, what's up, Libra? This is your mid-month of October forecast for October 2016. This is for the 15th through the 31st of October. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget that this is for anyone who was born under the sign of Libra, whether that is by the sun sign, the moon sign, or the rising/ascendant sign. Also, don't forget that you are more than one sign, okay? You can look at your birth chart, which I posted a link below to where you can go and see it for free. You can pull it up and see what other energies make up you and your personality. And if you have your birth time, you can see what your rising sign is, and everything is so much more clear when it comes to reading your birth chart. But even if you don't, you can still see a lot of things. So if you know your moon and or your rising sign, don't forget to watch the monthly horoscopes for those as well. And if you would like a personal reading of your birth chart, I would love to do that. So go to indigomoonastrology.com. That is my website for personalized readings. You can order one there, and we can get something going. Now on to your mid-month of October forecast. Libra, so this rest of the month of October is super important for you guys because there's still energy hanging out in your sign. On the 15th, we have the sun in your sign opposing Uranus in Aries, which is your opposite sign. So pretty much the sun is helping you guys to really express yourself right now in life in general, okay? And be like, I am here. You know, you may be a little bit more bold, a little bit more outspoken, and not really caring much about what other people think of you. You may be acting out before you think. And just really having a lot more courage and confidence to just step out into the world and not be as much of the people pleaser that you usually are. And then Aries is your opposite sign, which is very bold and courageous as well, and just kind of gets out there and does what it feels like doing and jumps headfirst into stuff. Uranus is an energy that is very rebellious. It's very going against the norm, against the traditional. It's very shocking and surprising. So when it's like there's a opposition there, which is a tension between the two energies, the two signs. Uranus, since it's so rebellious, it may be challenging you to become more of a rebel. And I've noticed, like, with myself and other people, it brings out a little bit more of like a weird, a weirdo type of energy where you just all of a sudden want to like wear some totally different clothes, style your hair different, and people are like, what has gotten into you, Libra? Normally you're very clean cut and just kind of regular and, you know, casual and graceful, but all of a sudden, Libra, you're just like, I just want to wear like pink polka dot pants with like, you know, green striped shirt, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. Or you may just decide cut and shave all your hair off, you know, if you have hair, and like dye it like rainbow colors, and people are like, oh my god, Libra, why? And you're like, I don't know, I just felt like it. You know, that's what the sun and Uranus opposition can do. Now on the 16th, the full moon, the moon comes into play here, okay? Because the moon joins Uranus in Aries, opposing the sun, and the moon is emotions and your subconscious and your perception of the world, the lens through which you're viewing it. So this can mean that there can be conflicts between you and other people, just being honest, where they're not very accepting of this, you know, bold movement that you may want to make in your life. You may want to make a bold change all of a sudden, you know. And since this deals with relationships, some of my Libras can all of a sudden get into a relationship or get out of a relationship with this full moon and Uranus. So, you know, just letting you know, it is going to affect you emotionally and with relationships for sure. Whether it's positive or negative really depends on you and the rest of your chart and just being a human being and having your own free will pretty much. But relationship changes are definitely on the horizon for you. On the 18th, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and enjoyment of the five senses, moving into fiery Sagittarius. And this for you guys is your third house. The third house is communication, and it's like going around the vicinity of where you live and running errands, and like, you know, it's like the places like the gas station and the grocery store, just as an example. And Venus also represents where you can meet love if you're open to it. And so some of my Libras can be all of a sudden falling in love, like by meeting somebody in one of those day-to-day places. So maybe the full moon triggers like a sudden relationship happening, and you meet them like in a place that's like just kind of around the way. Or maybe you were introduced to them by like a cousin, or by a brother or sister, or by like a family member that you don't see on an everyday basis. That can happen as well, and it's kind of unexpected. Now, if you are in a relationship already that's committed, I will warn you that Venus in the 3rd house can make you craving something different, make you crave like fresh and new and exciting, and like just wanting to bounce around and do your own thing. So don't get yourself in trouble. You may be a little too flirty and friendly with Venus and Sag in the 3rd house, and that can make that full moon energy bring about a sudden breakup because you've been too flirty. I'm just being honest with you, Libra. So make sure that that doesn't happen. But if you're in a committed relationship and this Venus transit comes into full effect, maybe you can just bring something new and exciting into the relationship that you already have, you know, and maybe that's what that full moon can bring for you. It's like all of a sudden you're like, you know, our relationship is stale, baby. Like, we need to bring some excitement, get this relationship popping again, like get that old feeling back of like fresh and new, and ooh, what's your name, and I don't know who you are, but I'm so intrigued and interested in you, so I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I'm just curious. That type of energy, get back to that within your committed relationships. So Mars is in the sign of Capricorn, has been there since the beginning of October. For you guys, this is your 4th house of home and family. You've already had Pluto hanging out there since 2009, and Pluto is very transformational, very deep transformation. Could have had a lot of really significant changes happening in your family life ever since Pluto moved there in 2009. And now Mars is going to join Pluto this month. Exactly on the 19th is when that transit is at its highest peak, but it's also a few days before it builds up, and a few days after that is when it starts to descend. But Mars and Pluto together on the 19th in your house of home and family, I would say be very careful of conflicts with your family members, especially over your relationship decisions. That can be a possibility for you. But Mars is action and drive and aggression, and it likes to knock things down and physically do things and move things and change things. And then Pluto likes to transform, like to where something or someone is completely unrecognizable after it's done with transforming it. And it's kind of like the energy of like the cocoon, and then a butterfly comes out of it, and you're like, whoa, you're a butterfly, and you're like, I was a cocoon before? Like, that cocoon is ugly as hell, but now I'm a beautiful butterfly. Like, how do I go from that to that? That's the energy of Pluto. So this is the house of home and family. You can feel like you want to change your home, like start renovating stuff, knocking stuff down, which Mars loves to do, and just completely changing the home that you already own into like a different place, okay? Like to where you just have something different going on there. You want to beautify it, but actually Mars and Pluto isn't really about beautifying. That's more Venus. But it can just be, yeah, like physically tearing things apart within the home to make room for something new and just change stuff. So also within your family life in general, your family dynamics, there can be some conflicts there. I think I mentioned that already. So just be careful with that, but definitely a great time to get things done and changed around the home. 22nd, the sun moves into Scorpio, and for you guys, that's your 2nd house of earned income. So we have a lot of energy actually going on in Scorpio this month. The sun moves there and kind of initiates things and brightens up that area, highlights it, makes it all clear for you. So you're going to start seeing the good and the bad actually in detail as far as your earned income and your budgeting and your resources. Your resources includes like using water and electricity, for example, the gas money that you spend, you know, on traveling in your car. So you're really going to start seeing those things in a different light and be like, what's going on here? You know, there's some things that we can change and, you know, start budgeting a little bit differently, especially because Mercury moves into that sign in that house on the 24th and joins the sun there. So the sun is like shining a flashlight around, you know, your earned income. Hey, I could be earning more money at work, you know, if I got a better job, or maybe look over there, there's a second job like that I can get, you know, to earn more money. Or hey, I can budget a different way. So the sun is a flashlight, you're going to see that stuff, and then Mercury steps in and starts thinking about that stuff, because he rules your thinking processes. So Mercury's going to be like, yeah, you know what, son, we can change some stuff, and he's going to start managing and organizing like a new budget system for you, budget plan or whatever. Start looking for that second job, start looking for ways to earn more money within the job that you already have. So that energy comes into play the 22nd and the 24th and continues into the beginning of November for you. So there's a new moon that happens in the sign of Scorpio in your second house on the 30th of October. And so that means the sun and the moon come together to birth something brand new for you. It's a brand new beginning. So for you guys, this is with earned income. So maybe you start seeing the things very clearly as far as money. And then the new moon is like, hey, here's a new opportunity for you. Bing, something brand new job, brand new second job, brand new entrepreneurship, a brand new way to manage your resources. You can start like budgeting and cutting back on using things at home like electricity and maybe your phone bill, you cut back on that. I mean, it can just bring something new. Like it's finally like getting the new things started and initiated. It's in conjunction with Mercury, so Mercury's going to be helping out this new moon focus from one new moon until the next new moon that happens in November. So great time this month, at the end of this month, for organizing, budgeting, looking at how you spend your money and looking at how you earn your money. All right, Libra, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you from my Angel Tarot deck. One is going to be for the full moon that happens on the 16th, and the other one is for the new moon that happens on the 30th. So I will shuffle and be right back with your cards. All right, Libra, so these are the cards that I pulled for you guys for October. For the full moon that happens on the 16th. Wow, this is amazing that this came up. This is the Lover's card, and the full moon happens in your 7th house, and this is about relationships. So the message on the card says intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. So check it out. We've got Archangel Raphael here. He is spreading love to this couple right here, okay? He is spreading some green, lovely light amongst this couple, okay? Now, green is the color of the heart chakra. The heart chakra rules things that bring you great joy in life, to fully enjoy life. And opening up that heart chakra does welcome in relationships a lot of times, welcomes in love to your life. So he is spreading love to this couple, okay? Now look at, there's one person, it looks like a female, that's basking in this green, lovely light. And then there's the other person who looks to be male, that's kind of still looking off in a different direction, kind of skeptical or kind of not really knowing if this is what they want. So this is telling me that you need to balance those things out. Pretty much, Libra. You guys are the scales. You guys are all about balance. But it doesn't mean that Libras are always that great at balancing. It means that you guys may always have a balancing act going on that's, makes things a little difficult for you to balance stuff. So right now the focus is relationships with this full moon. So the Lovers can represent you. Both people can represent you. What do you want? Do you want to be this person basking in the lovely energy, or do you want to be this other person who's like, I don't know if I want this? What do you want, Libra? What do you want out of this relationship? If you're in one, or if you're thinking about beginning one with a person, maybe there's two people that you need to decide between. That's also what this can represent. But this can just mean, in general, all in all, that you really need to make a decision when it comes to relationships, but that this green light is like, it's here for you if you want it. This love energy, this opening of the heart chakra, it's here if you want it, but it's got to make some sort of decision. Do you want to bask in it, or do you want to walk away from it? What do you want? So that's your card for the full moon. Now for the new moon, the moon card came up. It says important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So when I look at this card, I mean, the message that's written on it is cool and everything, but there is two beings on this as well that looks like have to be balanced out. So there is this wolf over here, a wild wolf, and then on this side is a domesticated house dog, a collie, okay? And in the middle is, Archangel Haniel. And to me, what the vision that I get is it's about making a decision. And there's two moons back here. The moon represents emotions, so this is an emotional decision. So this new moon for you guys is happening in your second house of earned income. There's a decision that you have to make about how you're going to earn your money. And there's also a balance that needs to be maintained, because check this out. This wild wolf is like you wanting to just spend your money as you receive it, like spend it for leisure and joy and not have to worry. You just want to be wild with that money. And then this domesticated collie is like, no, no, no. We need to be domesticated. We need to be disciplined, and we need to balance things out and budget things. So this is you in the middle. Like, what do I do with my money? So these are decisions that you need to make in regards to your finances around the new moon. There's definitely some balance that is needed there for you guys. The card says, release fears that hold you back. So are there any fears that are holding you back from making more money, or from, budgeting it out, or maybe even spending? I mean, what if you're a tightwad Libra and you hardly ever spend money? You're like afraid to spend it on enjoying what this world has to offer you, as a physical being in the physical world. Maybe this is saying to balance things out to where you can finally stop being such a tightwad Libra, and, if that applies to you, and actually get out there and enjoy yourself. So be the wild wolf and enjoy yourself, but at the same time, don't forget, you have to go home, you have to be obedient, and you have to be disciplined with your money. So those are your cards for October, for the full moon and the new moon. All right, Libra, that was it for your mid-month of October forecast for 2016. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was helpful and insightful for you. And thank you for your patience. I'm really sorry I didn't get the normal full month of October horoscopes out. But as I mentioned in my update video that I made a few days ago, I got a lot of people wanting readings from me, which is awesome. That is actually the goal I'm trying to go towards. So I didn't really have the time to do the full monthly horoscope, but now I've got everything balanced out, and I'll make sure to give you guys a full horoscope in November. But just a fair warning that I am going to try to shorten them. I had them up to like 30 minutes long last, several months, but they are going to be shorter from here on out, so I can focus on the wonderful clients, those of you who are ordering readings from me. Thank you so much again. But yeah, if you would like a reading from me, any of my Libra people, IndigoMoonAstrology.com to place your order, and then we can get something scheduled. All right, well, take care of yourselves this month, Libra, and I will see you guys in November. Peace.